Siamo a Parigi in occasione del 30° congresso della World Federation of Emofilia, un'occasione importante per fare il punto sulle nuove acquisizioni in terapia, e abbiamo l'opportunità di parlare con il professor Armin Reininger, Senior Medical Director per l'emofilia di Baxter, una delle aziende maggiormente impegnate in questo settore. Dr. Reininger, Baxter is involved in hemophilia since 60 years. Could you please briefly summarize the main achievement of your company in hemophilia therapy so far?
Two of the major new advances of the field of hemophilia were the introduction of the first recombinant factor VIII into hemophilia, and then also the first recombinant factor VIII without any human plasma protein in the production of that product. By doing that, the safety of the product was advanced to a much higher level, and I think that level is definitely something that all the patients can benefit from nowadays.
You have many products in your pipeline for the hemophilia treatment. I will ask you to briefly underline what are they and the perspective of these products. Let's start with the hemophilia A, the most important form of hemophilia. Which are the products you are developing?
Right now what we are developing for hemophilia A is in addition to what we already have, and that product that is already in the market can be used to reduce the annual bleed rates, and we just had a publication on that in the scientific community, from 44 to 0 to 1 bleeds by using a prophylaxis treatment that is not only personalizing that medicine but also using some advantages in that field when you go with pharmacokinetic driven adjusted dosing. That is definitely one point, and the other one is a longer acting product that we have in the pipeline to again go further with that and have with the pegylated form, polyethylene glycol conjugated form of that safe and efficacious product that has been in the market for 9 years. Now to go further with that and even make that a longer acting product. This is what we are pursuing from a research and development standpoint.
Let's move to hemophilia B. What are you developing?
In hemophilia B, we are also on that safe and efficacious platform producing albumin and plasma protein free, a recombinant factor IX product, and that is in the end stage of the clinical phases of the testing of that product.
For hemophilia B, you are also studying gene therapy. Could you please summarize what are you doing?
What we are doing right now is collaboration with a company that allows us to go with a gene therapy for hemophilia B, and what that company has developed, and we are investigating the possibilities of that new technology to even further advance the gene therapy based on adenovirus associated vectors and really get to the far away goal, because this is in very early and preliminary stages to get to the goal that has been in the field, that there may be in the future a cure for hemophilia B in that respect. We are pursuing that goal and are working intensely to find out the research and development aspects that need to go into that development.
Are you optimistic to find a cure?
I think that would be speculating on something that with research that always gives you the options, and you really only know when you have finished everything in the end. So it would be very unwise from even a medical and science perspective to really say that will happen in the near future. But I think we are making progress. When you look back at the history of the last 10 years, I think the field is moving forward. It is promising.
You're also working on a very rare disease about coagulation, the von Willebrand disease. What are you doing in this field?
With von Willebrand disease, we are developing the first recombinant von Willebrand factor, and that is also now in the phase 3 clinical trials entering that. That recombinant von Willebrand factor will allow for the first time, if we are successful with that, to not only have a plasma-derived product, but also again on that very safe platform that Baxter has established and is using since many years to find a recombinant, or to develop a recombinant von Willebrand factor that has only the von Willebrand factor in it, but does not have the factor VIII in addition. So the very pure protein that is lacking in the patient is only then given back to the patient.
Probably the most important issue in hemophilia therapy is the problem of inhibitors. What are you doing to counteract this problem?
What we have engaged in is supporting a study about the early development and the prophylaxis, the early prophylaxis in the development of the inhibitors. This study is called EPIC. And what we are pursuing is to find out if we can use the very early treatment of very young hemophilia patients to undergo the immune system and actually train and tolerize the immune system by very low doses that start very early, and then that may lead eventually to accepting the factor that has to be given to those patients. So with that study, we are pursuing that concept that has been developed in the field by physicians, and we are working very closely with more than 80 centers worldwide to prove that concept, or at least find the scientific data and basis for that, and develop that whole field of immunology further.
And finally, how you see the hemophilia therapy 10 years from now?
For me, the goal for hemophilia therapy in 10 years from now, and I would say for the company, is to be very dedicated and to give back to the patients a normal life. And we can see now from all the scientific data that has developed over the years that when you start with prophylaxis early, even when you can bring down the inhibitor rate and then have a prophylaxis treatment that is tailored to the needs of the patient over the many years, I think they can lead a perfectly normal life and can have the same life expectancy as the normal population. I think that is the goal, to bring that to every hemophilia patient.